Let's talk about marketing. In the world of business or ministry or any organization, marketing is selling, branding is telling, fundraising is asking. And you have to be fluent in all of that language. You have to be able to tell, you have to be able to sell, you have to be able to ask. And let's use, I want to use this example, Procter & Gamble, the Ohio-based company that was started by William Procter and James Gamble out of the United Kingdom. 8 decades ago, almost 75 years ago, they made a bedrock decision. And Procter & Gamble made a decision that 3 things would never change in their company, and it served them well. I think just a year ago, they brought in $83 billion. So they haven't had a bad run. The 3 bedrock decisions were, they were going to take, every year, they would take 13% of their annual gross revenue and put it into new marketing ventures. 13% of gross revenues every year, and put that into marketing. The second bedrock decision they made is that they would never change that percentage no matter how much money they brought in. Whether they brought in $1 million or $83 billion, they would always take 13% out and reinvest it into marketing the business. And then the third bedrock decision that they made was every year they would have an outside organization come in and evaluate and measure their goals and objectives. They would have an outside organization, not just do an internal or external audit, but they would examine the entire organization to see how they were doing. That's a phenomenal system. Now, what I want you to imagine is imagine if you took 13% of your gross revenue and put it back into investing in the marketing of your company. What could you do with 13% of your business revenue going back into marketing? Could you go on radio? Could you do some internet marketing? Could you go on television? Could you get an ad on the local bus? The opportunities become unlimited. See, the problem is not how to market, is will I have the resources to do the marketing? You could hire a marketing firm if you had 13% of your gross income going back into marketing for new business. In fact, there's some creative ways that you can do it. You know, you could share your books and your revenue stream with a marketing agency and say, hey, this is what we've generally brought in. This is what we're averaging over the course of a year. Every dollar that you bring in over this, after we hire your company, we'll give you a percentage of it. That's a win-win situation. There's no loss, no risk of income to you. If your company generates $100,000 more dollars in a calendar year because you hired this particular marketing firm and you agreed to a 30% payoff to them, would you take that $70,000 and give them $30,000? Of course you would, because it costs you nothing to hire them. There are all kinds of creative ways of doing marketing, but if you're not going to sell your brand and you're not going to tell your brand and you're not going to ask for funds, you're not going to grow your business. It is a critical part of fiscal strength in any company or business. You have to be willing to market.